Hello. You may notice something different about me today. I'm wearing a woolly hat, scarf and a coat. No, it's these, isn't it? My bins, my glasses. Yep. I could have picked it up ages ago. I had an eye test, when was it? I think at the start of November. I think it was the first week of, and the pair was ready for collection 2 or 3 weeks later. I tried them, but I had to send them back again. Not send them back, but take them back to the opticians, because I chose not to have varifocals, because every time I have an eye test I alternate between varifocals and having to do this. But this time around I couldn't do this anymore. Well, I could if I'm reading, but when it comes to using a computer or looking at a smartphone, I can't see it. I can't even squint it, you know, because I have to do that and get closer, and I have to squint through this, and not these pair, but the old version of the first attempt of this. And so yeah, I had to take them back, and then I picked these up the other day. When was it? So almost a month to the eye test, I picked them up for a second time, and this time I got varifocals, and they're much better. Although the corners in my peripheral vision looks like everything's bending, like Inception. Anyway, hello again, and welcome to today's talking video. Don't know why I giggle. It's because it's a play on Talking Pictures, which is either the BBC programme on film interviews, or the TV channel. If you've got Sky, it's channel 328, and it's the Talking Pictures TV. I think on Freeview it's 80 something, 81, 83. Anyway, it's called Talking Pictures TV. So there's a play on that. That's why I chortled. It's a typical autumn day, as you can tell. It's sort of bronzy looking. Leaves, golden leaves on the ground, filters of sun rays. And we start with where I left off on the last vlog, which was a Thursday, the 25th. And I came back from the video making. Then I copied the clips across, watched the University Challenge, and read a bit of Not Dead Yet, until the copying finished. Then I checked Shotcut, the video editor, for a new release or pre-release, or what they call a nightly build or a daily build. There weren't any, so I created a project for that day's video in the editor, Shotcut IE, which automatically kicks off the proxying, just as Kdenlive does. DaVinci, on the other hand, has to be done manually. So it gives you control. There are some video. I mean, it was a video player called Video Player, just quickly on this, that I was testing for the first time, that I didn't realise it automatically proxied the clips. And I learned that it pays to wait for proxying and use proxying. I've been using proxying ever since in other videos. So yeah, DaVinci does it manually, but it's okay. I've got a Sorry for the spittle. Remember this from last time? Oops. Is that better? Made it worse. How's that? I'm not one for lighting. So DaVinci has to be done manually, which is good. You can get control, and I've got a system anyway. As soon as I open the app up, I have to create a database for it. I have to create a storage area and so on. I don't want to bore you with the details. So, whilst I was editing the day's vlog, I remembered something earlier whilst watching Only Connect, which I had on when I was having breakfast of 8 cream crackers, buttered, 2 custard creams and coffee. A clue came up. It said 92 : South Korean. Okay, and the question was, what came forth in this sequence? This clue was third, 92 : South Korean, and the answer was 93 : Chinese. Hang with me, hang in there. And yeah, 93 : Chinese, that was the answer. So why was this the fourth in the sequence? Because at the 93rd, remember 93 : 93rd Academy Awards, a Chinese director took home the Best Director Award. And 92 : Korean, at the 92nd Academy Awards, a South Korean director took home the Best Director. And it reminded me of a film, sorry, I've got a grammar mistake here, of a film, The Wanted to Watch. The Wanted to Watch, that I wanted to watch. Yeah, I thought, oh, South Korean, I know who this is, and it's his film. I want to watch his film because it won all these Oscars. And so I did a search on Sky Q. Could I remember what it was, what the title was? I only remembered part of the director. Sorry about the spittle again. Is that better? All I could remember was part of the director's name, which was Boone, like the Michael L. Fick TV show in the 80s. When I searched on Sky by speaking into the remote controller, I got a kids program, and my smartphone was in the other room charging. It was when I was watching University Challenge. This was not straight after Only Connect, because I went out, did some videoing, came back, copying probably, and then I probably sat down for lunch at this point. I was watching University Challenge, and I remembered the title of the film, Parasite. So I spoke into the remote, and it's going to premiere on the following Saturday on British television. I hit the red R button straight away and put it on my recording schedule, and I have seen it. It's there waiting to be watched in the ever-growing list of recordings. Now, how did I remember the title? Well, it was a lyric in a special song. I'm a parasite, I creep about at night. So I knew the word was in the lyric and had to find out what the lyric was, and I found out what the lyric was because I've been a big fan for a long time. Even before I knew it was Scar, I was a fan of the specials. So somebody said it was Scar, and I thought it was Scar, but it was SKA. And I just, you know, instant like to Scar. I don't know if it's globally liked by people, but to me that is my genre of music. Right. I'd said I might have trouble using Shortcut to edit an hour-long video from experience, but it was smooth this time. Even the proxy size, 360p, which is bigger than 270p, which I love using on Kdenlive, and I can use on, well, it's a default on, it's the lowest on Kdenlive, but with DaVinci you can choose any, you can customize it, so I use 270 there. So it wasn't an issue in Shortcut this time, doing a long talky vlog. You know what's coming, don't you? Probably a footnote to this talkie. It didn't lag. It crashed only once. A 66-minute video edited in Shortcut was a success. I also discovered more keyboard shortcuts, which was really impressive and exciting, such as a single key to add an effect. So instead of selecting the track at the clip, then going to the filters tab and clicking the plus and then searching for the effect, you can select it and then press F, and that takes you straight into the search. And how to navigate along keyframes, and how to see a list of shortcuts, which opens up a web page of them, which is a good idea because then you can update the web page, needless to say. So everything worked perfectly in Shortcut, including the export. It was in the early hours when the edit finished, and I watched the whole hour-long thing back, trying to stay awake. Then had a couple of cheese, tomato and spring onion rolls and coffee, watching Discovering Tim Robbins. I don't know what I was doing in 2004, but I missed him winning a Best Supporting Actor Oscar. The next episode, shown the day before, so this was Thursday. I'm on to Friday, huh? Yes, because now I'm in the early hours of Friday, which I haven't got to yet. So that Thursday's episode was on Michael Keaton. And I wondered if the talking heads had picked up on him playing, sorry about the spittle, because I've got a gap in my tooth there. Weird, like. I wondered if the talking heads had picked up on him playing the same character twice. And I don't mean Batman or even the Vulture. Has he played the Vulture twice? Well, in the Morbius teaser trailer, you see him in it. Hey Duck, to Jared Leto's Michael Morbius. So not only did he play Batman and the Vulture twice, but he played an FBI agent. So the next day is a Friday, and not yesterday, but the Friday before, I think. It hasn't been a fortnight, has it? I don't think so. So Friday, it was late, and I had to shoot in underlined script. I didn't underline the shooting because it's a grammatical error. I had to do a shooting script. Should put that in square brackets. This is the way I talk. It was late and I had to shoot in script. So I jumped in the jam jar and improvised. I knew two of the scenes, the opening and the supermarket. When I came back, it was the same routine as the day before. Copying files, reading Not Dead Yet. I have to say not dead yet, otherwise I say not yet dead. That's my instant thought of the title, but it's not dead yet. Proxy files and have an hour's kip. I watched Discovering Michael Keaton, and no, the talking heads did not pick up on the role he played in both Jackie Brown and Out of Sight. Yes, he appears in Out of Sight and it's the same character as in Jackie Brown. I think both must have been written by Elmore Leonard. And that's why I thought, oh, here he comes as an FBI agent in Out of Sight. I wonder if it's the same one from Jackie Brown, and it was. Then again, the talking heads completely skipped over Gung Ho and Spider-Man Homecoming. Before Batman and Beetlejuice, I first took note of Michael Keaton in Gung Ho. I thought, wow, here's a person to watch. And the following episode is, or was, because I'm writing this in present tense, was John Malkovich. Sadly, Shortcut struggled with 4K videos. I thought I was going to tackle this later, but anyway. Sorry. It looks like this is fried, yeah. Timescale. Timeline. Sadly, Shortcut struggled with 4K videos and a separate audio track kept crashing. I can't remember what it was now. It's a good thing I wrote it down. Kept a single audio track kept crashing. So I installed Kdenlive Live from its nightly build repository, like I know what I'm talking about, and reproxied the clips again. Shortcut was uninstalled. Whilst I was waiting for the proxies this time, I watched the next episode of Man from Atlantis. After the proxies, started the edit, that is synchronizing separate audio to videos audio. This is the weekly video that has no music. Okay, so it's not the talking video, it's the non-music video that follows it. Is it greying up? It's clouding up in here. You want to see the outside as a diversion to this nonsense. This waffle. Turn it off, idiot. This is the weekly video that has no music and uses everyday sounds, but because the audio is faulty in the video, i.e. the Samsung, I have to use the audio in a separate device, the Motorola. It was late and manually syncing wasn't straightforward, so I called it a day. The following day was a Saturday, so a week ago today. Was it free? Is today the 4th? Yes, I think it is. So last Saturday, I continued with the syncing, then with the actual edit itself. I'm just aware of people in their garden. You've got to take the rough with the smooth. I'm Batman. Continue the actual. So continue with the syncing, then with the actual edit itself. So it's double the work when it comes to natural sounds videos. When the render started, No, I only say render if I'm using DaVinci Resolve. Surely I meant export. Or did I want to skate over the fact? No. I'm sure I meant export. It's the same thing. I've got render, so I've written down, so I better say it. When the render started, I went out and it's still... Shall I? A bit more. When the render started, I went out and filmed that day's video. Saturday's video. Of course, when I came back, the render, I'm still calling it render, was still going. So unfortunately, Hangouts is... Of course, when I came back, the render was still going. So I started my watching, underlined because it's grammatically wrong. So I started watching the next episode of Man from Atlantis. Now we're into this week. According to the Scholar button, I'm halfway. But these are short bullet points. I'm beginning to summarise things. Sunday last Sunday, day 1 if you like, if today's day 7, saw the last ever episode of Man from Atlantis. Right, I saw some videos on Patrick Duffy talking about how every episode was quite big budgeted, and it became mostly studio based. I think I mentioned it being like a deck of the Star Trek, but it was a submarine vessel. And he said they don't use CGI, although towards the end of the series I noticed a different actor playing him underwater because the hair was much longer. It was waving about in the water. Anyway, he said there was no CGI, and so everything was done for real. So am I going? Yeah. But the last 2 episodes, one of the pivotal actors wasn't in it, and it didn't explain in the storyline. It said she'd been called in by the Pentagon or the FBI for some separate work, and that's her written out of the story, and she was the second lead in the show. I think because of her salary, they must have just because they can't honour a person's salary if it's committed to a series, or maybe it was. I don't know. I tried to find out why, but I couldn't. So the last 2 episodes didn't have this pivotal second lead, and that was just an observation, really, from it. That's it. No more Man from Atlantis. I'm still searching for Man O' War, the one episode that's missing. I found some. I think I found one. I found it on Daily Motion, which is a rival, an alternate video hosting system to YouTube. But as I was watching it, although the quality was pretty bad, as I was watching it, I saw it was left to right, as if you're watching me sitting over there. Now, I wonder, sometimes I see these kind of pirated, scammy looking videos, and I think to myself, I wonder if they do it to get out of some IA royalty search. So I didn't watch it. I couldn't watch it, you know, left to right like that. So it's still on my to-do list to watch. Sunday, filmed the video, edited, etc. Monday, here we go, filmed the video, edited, etc. During the render, I keep calling it render as if I'm using DaVinci, but it must have been Kdenlive. It must have been. During the render, I watched YouTube videos of Alec Guinness and Robert Shaw, and couldn't stop watching them. Once you start watching these, you just can't stop because there's other videos and other interviews. I ended up watching one on Paul Schofield. I reiterate, Paul Schofield. Tuesday, because I spotted artifacts on vlog 1127, this doesn't tell me which day that was, and I can't use this because it's not connected to the Wi-Fi. And before my stomach just rumbled, I was going to say I'm starving. Because it was late, 11, I came out, I thought I'd skip it, let's do this, come back, and then I could always eat when it's cropping the files across. And it's late because I went to bed late, because I edited late and so on. It has a knock-on effect. So there was artifacts on vlog 1127. If I remember to, I'll put the day and the date here so we know what we're talking about. Oh, I was using Kdenlive. I installed Kdenlive there and then, and installed DaVinci Resolve. Had already proxied the next video in Kdenlive, but had to kick it off all again. Had to kick it off again using DaVinci Resolve. Watched Only Connect, and then went out filming. Came back and edited. Saw University Challenge and an episode of One Foot in the Grave called Drama Fever, because it was on BBC4 in HD. I've been watching the whole One Foot in the Grave in my recordings, except for a few Christmas ones which I managed to find online, i.e. catch up. What's the other word? Catch up or you can have a catch up, or you can catch or demand, or on demand. I was determined to find that words. And the actor, you know, David Wilson, he looked well. Oh, wait a minute, scroll down too far. Ignore that last bit. In HD. Was channel hopping, then came back to BBC4, the same channel, to watch Mark Lawson give an interview on Richard Wilson. It looked recent and the actor looked well. Then I realised it was filmed in 2009. The first attempt at a render failed, even though it was a 1080p timeline scaled up to 4K. Some GPU image process failure popped up. I did a restart. I did a second attempt. I minimized the DaVinci window, and it seemed to have fixed it. So now I minimize windows when I do a DaVinci render. Was that a spoiler? Wednesday, went to bed at 5 AM. and stayed in bed until 1 p.m. The latest upload had processed the HD already, so I watched it over cheese, hummus, haslet, and spring onion sandwiches, jam donut, and coffee. That too had an artifact at the 8-minute 10 mark. I guess I could try shortcut. Before going out for today's for the day's shoot, this is Wednesday. I downloaded Shortcut and ran the proxies. Only yesterday's folder on the flash drive. No, only has 2 minutes, doesn't it? So I need to emphasize the correct only. Only yesterday's folder on the flash drive wasn't there. All 41 little videos which I filmed not only in Eastbourne but in Norman's Bay and Little Common were wiped. I did some housekeeping on some old folders and I picked up the latest folder by mistake and deleted it. Can you imagine? All 41 clips that I not only filmed in and out of the area but also proxied. All that time wasted, all that planning to come back and go straight into an edit just didn't happen. Here's the explanation. What happened was I deleted the folders for the vlogs I'd just seen on YouTube, including one thing live later. Including one thing, including the one I was going to edit, basically. It wasn't there. So without a moment's hesitation, not there and then, this is the explanation still. So I'd seen all these YouTube videos, I'd seen my videos on YouTube, and that's my sign to delete the folders to make some space on the USB. So I've just, so once I've seen them on YouTube, I delete the folders. So without a moment's hesitation, I delete all the folders except the last one, which was reserved for Wednesday's shoot. That means I deleted the folder for Tuesday. I deleted Tuesday's video shooting folder. Yeah. So I'm thinking. See, I don't normally reserve a folder. For example, today I haven't reserved the folder for today yet. I create the folder during the copying, you know. But for some reason I created a folder for the day, and in my mind anything before the latest folder needs deleting, including the Tuesday's folder, which had 41 clips. When that happened, I was just stunned. I didn't cry or anything, and I thought to myself, maybe I've reached the end of the road. This is a sign to stop. I asked myself it, and I didn't get an answer. And I didn't feel bad. In fact, I went out and refilmed as much as I could remember. And it wasn't bad going. I managed to film 38 out of 41 clips. And I think one clip was split into two previously because of traffic lights. I'm going, I won't be long. Yeah. So I was looking forward to doing it all. And I think there was a few bonus elements to it, being the time of day and beautiful shots of the horizon. And so I wasn't gutted. I was looking forward to refilming it all again. How about that? Eh? This is some hobby I have that I really, it can go things up, and I can still look forward to redoing it again, combining my interest in driving and filming, and then later editing, rewarded with a meal afterwards. Right, watched the first series of Manhunt. This was the next on my recordings, starring Martin Clunes, a true story about the murder of French student Amélie Delagrange. I remembered hearing Delagrange at the time when they were reporting the news. And there was also a recent documentary on Sky Crime. I watched this, as it was in my recordings, following a Lauren Hardy silent called Liberty, which was almost a rip-off of Howard Lloyd's Safety Last. You know, when he's hanging off the clock face, that one of Hollywood's iconic moments, images. Of course, I watched the whole series, or most of it, whilst the 38 clips got copied, and this time proxied in Shotcut. What was yesterday? Friday. Friday was editing lots of clips in Shotcut, but it lagged terribly towards the end. A double click clip took half a minute to open. Agony. So, artifact or no artifact, I'm back on DaVinci Resolve 17.4.2 with present edits. I don't know why I put that last bit. I'm back on DaVinci full stop. Having seen the first series of Manhunt with Martin Clunes, I started on the next series automatically. You know how it tells you, especially in Sky, that the next episode will start in about half a minute. I'm going to ignore that. I think that's a reference to my parking here. But I'm nearly finished. I've only got 3 bullet points left. Had I watched the first... No, automatically. Had I watched the first series before, or had it been a pilot standalone episode? I'm sure I've seen Clunes play a detective before. And I went through his IMDb filmography and I couldn't find it. Apparently this was the first. I must have seen it and forgotten about it. Yet nothing came to mind except for the real life characters. Thank goodness I'm coming to the end now. You agree? 2 more bullet points left. When I went to the recordings, I had a choice of going to continued or recents. I went to recents and it wasn't next anymore. So I watched what was next. A real life Nordic noir, where it was a drama based on real life, on BBC4 called the hunt for a killer. So I'm in the middle of that. And we've reached the end. Thank goodness. I'm going to close the window and then drive off. But before I do... Was that a swear word? I hope not. Seems like such a nice, pleasant bungalow, residential type place. Let's close the windows because no one's watching me, maybe talking about me. Yes, that's it. Today's talking has come to an end. So there's been some interesting points last week. Not really. The last 2 episodes of Man from Atlantis, that was a curio. What else? Watching Martin Clunes in Manhunt. And this Nordic Noir. Michael Keaton, and actually, I can mention it, it's not scripted. I did watch in the early hours of today whilst the render was happening. This was yesterday's video. Yeah, I went out and filmed. I did a video yesterday, edited it yesterday, and went into the early hours. Just to chill, I watched John Malkovich, probably with Sanctuary. It would have been hummus, mature cheddar, and garlic sausage. In 2 rounds of toasted sandwiches, which was nice. Now I'm not going to say Jess's tips, but I just did. So, whilst I eating that, I watched Discovering John Malkovich. And did he or didn't he win an Oscar for Something from the Heart? Call myself a film buff, I can't remember film titles. Something from the Heart. The title is here. And did he win an Oscar for that film? I've got a lot of post-production work ahead of me today. So yeah, watch that. And the next episode, so today is Saturday, so next Thursday's one is on Samuel L. Jackson. Right. I'm off now. Thank you for watching. Not just this, but all the other videos. And been taking a keen interest in this channel. I have closed the windows. I'm going to put the heating back on. Ignition's on. I'm going to put the car heater on and drive off, and I'll continue with the rest of today's moto vlog.